Hey guys, it's Leanne and Simon on Loving Life Now for today's topic. What's today's topic? The final lifelines, is that it?
Your final lifelines.
Your final life, the final lifelines, whatever, close enough. Do you want to welcome everybody? And I'm going to do some sharing.
I will do that. Well, great to look. Agatha's here from the airport.
Hey Agatha. She's going to get on a plane in like an hour and a half, and I have the hugest FOMO ever.
So as you join us, good evening and welcome to our Facebook Live. As you join us, pop on out with your details. Let us know where you're streaming in from, so that we can welcome you to this evening's stream on Facebook. Agatha, hello from Melbourne Airport. I knew you were there.
We saw a picture.
Kent, hello Kent. Kent's also in Melbourne. Well, Agatha's on her way to Portugal, Kent. She's at the Melbourne airport heading over to Shane and Rachel in Portugal. So good on her. David Miller, good evening, Dave. Excuse me. Dave from Southeast South Australia. Peggy Crane from Perth in WA. Pacifico, hello. From South Coast of New South Wales. Shani, hello from Sydney. Richard Wiseman, hello from Hampshire. Joe Newland on the Gold Coast. Ida, hello Ida. Ida says hello, you're looking good.
Hello, thanks.
Laurie says hi from Laurie and Yaboon. G'day Laurie.
I'm sure
welcome to the stream. So as you join us, let us know where you're streaming in from. Love to personally welcome you to the stream.
I'm just doing some sharing, guys, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. Hello on TikTok if you've joined us as well. We're live on 2 cameras.
We are. Cheryl says hello from Sydney. Kayla, hello. We missed you last week from Boston. Didn't see you here last week, but that's okay.
Dubber in.
Hello, Kayla. Hello for joining us.
Hey, Kayla.
Bright and early over there in Boston.
It's actually changed. I think it's 5 a.m. now instead of 4.
Yeah, Rob Collins is on the Gold Coast. Hello, Rob. Thank you for joining us. We've got Bernie and Burley doing backflips, of course.
She's so
great to have you here. So if you just joined us, pop your details in the comments. Let us know where you're streaming in from. Hello, Stephen and Karen are both in St. George. These guys get around. Good evening. Welcome to you. Pacifico, hope you're feeling better. And congratulations for the awards. Thanks, Pacifico.
Thank you.
Kayla, yes, it's 5:30 a.m. she said. 5:30 in Boston.
Right.
So great to have you here. So if you've just joined us late, we'll get underway very shortly. We're talking about your final lifelines. And I made a bit of a miscalculation over the last couple of weeks when I said that this week there was going to be 9. There's actually only 5.
We're disappointing.
I printed one page twice.
We're 4 down.
So that's really good. We've got 5 lifelines to share. They're big ones too.
Oh, well,
big ones
I was going to say it'll take a shorter period of time.
Big ones is in big ones is in important ones.
Right.
And Michelle Collins, hello Michelle from the Gold Coast. Mark, hello Mark from Melbourne. Mark and Sandra in Melbourne. Hello to Sandra too.
Nearly done.
And they said congratulations. Thanks guys.
Thank you.
Well, we've had a big week. Lee is nearly done. We'll get into it shortly. We've got an early start tomorrow morning for our live business presentation. Brett Hudson, good evening. Hello from Brisbane. G'day Brett. Good to see you here.
I'm ready to go. Let's get into it.
All right. Well, we've had an exciting announcement on the weekend. We had our International Global Online Business Awards ceremony.
Yes.
And the company awarded people who are rising stars, who are new qualified directors in their business.
Yes.
And they also recognised the top income earners for the last 12 months. So May 2021 to April 2022. And congratulations goes to Julie Spring and also Alison Wheeler, who took out the number 3 and number 2 spots globally for our company.
And there were some cool people that got number 1. Do you know who they were?
There was some. Well, I don't know if they're that cool.
What do you guys think?
Speak for yourself. So we took out the number 1 spot internationally, globally, across the world. For our online business, for profits and sales into the business over the last 12 months. So
6 years in a row now.
Yep. So we're pretty excited about that. So appreciate all the comments and congratulations from all the people that have messaged us and posted comments to us. We really appreciate you and appreciate your support and appreciate those people that are on here supporting us each week and listening to our personal development topic. Lots of messages of congratulations. So thank you. We really do appreciate it from all of you. And as I said, appreciate those of you that jump on here each week and hang out with us just to talk about a bit of a personal development topic for about 30 minutes. And we enjoy doing it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we're getting up early tomorrow morning. We're recording a live business presentation for our global business. And you'll get to see me because I get
to see you every day.
I'm on intros. So I am doing the welcomes to everybody tomorrow. So look forward to seeing me bright and early. I'll bring my A game.
Yes, you will.
Not my B game, bring my A game.
Your double A game.
Raise my vibration, Simon.
That's right. All right, got lots of topics.
All right, so let's jump into our topic. So our topic for this evening is our final lifelines. And over the last 2 weeks, we've shared with you a range of lifelines. And these are, what are lifelines, Lee? They're, during our lives, we make connections, we interact with others. What else?
Take control for ourselves. We're at cause in our lives.
Yep.
We make choices and take action.
We do, and we either affirm or we repel what we want or what we desire. So we either affirm or repel what we desire in our lives. We learn to apply tools and techniques that we learn throughout our life that can assist us in moving forward. So what are lifelines? Well, lifelines are things that you can count on, things that you're personally responsible for creating, like alliances with people, relationships, perspectives, a knowledge base, right? These are things that we learn over our lives that we can rely upon. They're things that give you reason to create. Now, so we all have many lifelines, and we've spoken about a number of them over the last 2 weeks. And we're going to explore some more tonight, another 5. These are the final 5. The final 5 lifelines.
The
final 5, I like that. Let's see how they are serving you to get your desired results. And of course, it can be easy and fun, right? Or we can work on improving these lifelines in our life. Sometimes they need improvement. And how do we improve things, Lee?
We take a new approach.
Yep.
Or some new action.
We do. So we can improve these lifelines, and lifelines affect our daily results. So altering them can be super rewarding. And of course, we can gain immediate results from it as well. So, so that's exciting.
Yes.
So let's jump into our 5 final lifelines. This is in my way, and so let me just
my computer.
Let's just move that out of the way because it's in the way of what I was trying to see here.
Sorting out.
Okay. So lifelines. The first lifeline we're going to talk about tonight, Lee, is the generosity lifeline. Yeah. Do you consider yourself a generous person?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're pretty generous with your time.
Maybe too generous sometimes.
Depends who do.
Everyone.
So generosity lifeline. Life is about flow. Do you like to be in the flow?
Oh yes, I like to be in the flow.
And if we
If you saw that video I made the other day about flow.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought of when I read this tonight. So if we stop that which flows, we stop the transport or the transfer of energy.
Yeah.
Right? So when we're in flow, what do we have? We've got energy, which radiates around us, and energy where energy flows, right? So it's not just about giving, right? It's not just about, so generosity is not just about you giving, right? It's about flow and it's about energy. It's about measuring how much flow you offer,
Right, and over time we are refused. What we are unwilling to give.
Yeah. See, that's interesting. So if we're not willing to give something over time, we're refused. We won't get it back. That's right. So the generosity lifeline is really important. We talk in our personal development program around energy and flow, and about the transfer of money, and when bills come in, pay the bills so that they're out of the way and they're gone with and they're paid, and that creates a flow of money back in, right? So flow is important, correct?
Correct.
All right. So our second one that we're going to talk about tonight is our love lifeline.
Ooh.
So our first one was flow. So once we got the energy and the flow happening, then we've got our love lifeline. Now our love lifeline. So how authentic is your love lifeline? Ask yourself. Right?
How
yourself
authentic is your love lifeline?
I think I'm very authentic with my love lifeline.
Good.
So love is a virtue representing of all. We all have love within us, right? We can give love. We can accept love. We like to receive love. We like to give love.
Yes.
Love can be measured through things like
human kindness.
Yep. Compassion.
Affection.
Yeah. So they're three common ways that we experience love. Now, excuse me, unconditional love is a genuine kind of love. And this is incredible and a unique quality that we all have within us, is unconditional love.
When love is expressed, I can't even say that word. Habitually for others, it pays enormous dividends.
Yeah, so when love becomes habitual, in other words, we create a habit out of it. So I just love you and tell you that I love you and do things for you because I love you.
Yeah.
Then when you do that, that's habitual, right? It just becomes a habit. You do things out of love.
Yeah.
And it pays enormous dividends because then you love me back.
Maybe.
That's right.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. All right. So that's our love lifeline, and that's the second one. So that's a really important lifeline in amongst these lifelines that we can work on and improve on. So ask yourself, how authentic is your love lifeline? Can you improve on your own love lifeline?
We're getting some love over here on TikTok. Thanks, Jamie. We love you too.
All right. So we then have number 3 is our intake lifeline. Now, our intake lifeline is about what we take in, right? So it's what we feed, what supports and gives our life meaning. So what's the saying, Lee? There's a saying here.
So feed the goose that lays the golden egg.
Yeah. So feed the goose that lays the golden egg. So feed your mind, feed yourself, intake information. Because it might be, that you want to create more inquiries into your business. It might be that you want more quality time for your relationship. It might be that you want to go on a vacation for your family.
Yeah.
Right? Now, all of these things, how do we create them? How do we make them happen?
So if you want the golden eggs, use your intake lifeline to bring your goose what it needs to thrive.
That's right. So if you want the golden egg, you've got to feed the goose, right? So it's really important to be feeding yourself with the right information. And as I said, feed what supports and gives your life meaning. So feed the goose that lays the golden egg. And these things can assist you in creating greater success. So intake, right? So what are we taking in? What's the information that we're taking in? Now, our lifeline number 4 is our outflow lifeline. Now, of course, we got our intake. We've got obviously the opposite of an outflow.
Yep.
So there is no creation without
action.
What you act upon is your outflow. So what you actually do, you're outflowing.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Correct.
Yep. So your actions become your outflow. Outflow affects the composite universe. So your higher self behaviors are the driving force behind your positive outflow. So what's your higher self, Lee? How do we operate from our higher self or our lower self? So some people may not understand that. So if you're coming from your higher self, where are you coming from when you do something?
A good place.
A good place, yeah. And if you come from your lower self?
You're usually victim or, bad place.
Yeah, so you're not operating with as a good person, eh?
Or as a good person, no.
Yeah, so you might be being mean, like coming from a place of being mean or like you said, it's not a win-win situation.
Yeah.
So you want to be operating from your higher self. So your higher self behavior is the driving force behind the positive outflow. Now, your outflow interfaces with others in ways that make life either helpful or difficult, right? So it's really important that what we flow out, we're giving to others in a positive way.
Yes. Will you flow out what you want to get back?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's a good saying about that, right? Mm-hmm. What you give out comes back to you tenfold. Mm-hmm. Is your outflow lifeline creating and supporting the results that you want to experience in your life? So are you outflowing the right energy and the right information and the right... are you showing up in the right way around people? So is your outflow lifeline creating and supporting the results that you actually want in your life? So something really good to explore. You know, who am I being? Am I showing up in the right way? Am I sending out the right message, the right information? So that's our outflow lifeline. And of course, I mentioned that we had 5 for this evening, and our 5th lifeline for this evening is...
Self-observance lifeline.
Self-observance. Now, that's an interesting one. The universe that we live in is efficient. Mm-hmm. And in order to accept more in our lives, we must first be willing to take responsibility for more. So if you want more, take responsibility for more. Mm-hmm. What else, Lee?
We must see that what we are doing is positive for ourselves, the people around us, and for generations to come.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got to observe our own, who are we being? Who are we showing up as? Am I showing up as the best person today in my life, as a dad, as a partner, as a spouse, as a significant other? Am I showing up as the best person? Could I be better? Could I be responding better? Could I be... coming from my higher self? Could I be acting in a better way? So sometimes, however, we can fool ourselves into accepting our own false excuses. Mm-hmm. Now, some people buy into their own excuses, right?
Absolutely.
And it might just be that I just don't feel myself, and I'm going to be shitty to all the people around me.
We've all experienced it.
So sometimes people
Not
can
that
do that.
I would ever do that.
No. Oh, no. No, not ever.
Never.
What would make you think that?
Who knows?
Not at all. You're only human, you know. So of course, sometimes, as I said, we can fool ourselves into accepting our own false excuses. And you've got to be careful of that. So you've got to be fair and honest with our own self-observation lifeline, or our self-observance lifeline. It's really important to observe yourself often. Mm-hmm. Who was I being when I just spoke to that cashier at the checkout? Was I being the best person I could be? When I went and rang up the telecom company to complain about something, who was I being? Was I being the best person that I could be?
You're being nasty, no?
So sometimes we've got to observe ourselves and observe who we're showing up as. And this will help us clearly when we are acting from our lower self perspective, and provides us with the awareness to act otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So self-observance, right? Our self-observance lifeline. So do you often observe yourself and make judgments as to how you're being? Are you showing up as the best version of yourself? Are you showing up as a higher version of yourself, or are you coming from your lower self? And that's a really good lifeline that we can learn from.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so there are our 5 lifelines that come to the final lifelines. But of course, lifelines in your life, we've covered off a lot about lifelines, and what I really wanted to then flow into was, well, what's so important about all this? Mm-hmm. So increasing the effectiveness of our lifelines, Lee, is going to bring us lots of things in our life.
Yes.
What's it going to bring us? Things like what?
Satisfaction.
Yes, satisfaction. So we can create more satisfaction in our life.
Yep, happiness.
Create more happiness, right? Success. Well, we all want that.
We all do want that.
So we all want to create more success in our life. So these lifelines are going to help us do that. What else?
Our health.
Yep. So our health.
And increased desired results.
Absolutely. So by changing our lifelines and working on the lifelines that we've spoken about over the last 3 weeks, we can increase the effectiveness of the satisfaction, the happiness, the success, the health, and the increased desired results in our own life. Mm-hmm. Now, however, on the flip side, Lee, there is actions that decrease the effectiveness of these lifelines, and they can also expect to lead to frustration.
Yes. Well, grief.
Unhappiness.
Yep. Failure, denial,
Yep.
Poor health and depressed state of results.
Yeah, well, all of those things decrease the effectiveness of our lifelines. Now, imagine for a moment that your lifelines were like cables suspending you above, let's say, the Grand Canyon.
Okay.
Right? So if you could picture yourself for a moment, suspending, all your lifelines are suspended above the Grand Canyon in the US.
Okay.
Right? So you've got all these lifelines, these wires.
I'm excited that I was in the US.
And imagine that everyone you love, including yourself and everything you have or will have, hangs from these lifelines, these cables.
Nice.
Right? So everything, your love, your everyone you love, everything you have, everything's hanging from these cables above the Grand Canyon in the US. Right? That's the visual. So lifelines are like cables suspended above the Grand Canyon. So what makes these cables stronger? If any of them snap completely, what happens, Lee?
The remaining lifelines become compromised.
They do. Can you imagine? You've got all these lifelines above the Grand Canyon and one of them snaps, right? So how does that affect the others? They're compromised. Mm-hmm. Now, what can happen? We can observe the things that strengthen the cables as originating from our higher self. So if we're coming from our higher self, we've got to think about what can we do to strengthen the remaining cables.
Yes.
What else?
We observe things that weaken them as originating from the lower self.
Yeah. So we can either strengthen the other cables or we can weaken them coming from our higher self or our lower self. Now, living from our lower self, Lee, is like living
in the herd.
In the herd.
It's stinky and smelly and squishy.
Do you know people that live in the herd?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's stinky, smelly and squishy there.
There's plenty of people that live in the herd.
Not much space.
And they're happy to live in the herd. But if you're living from your higher self, it's a less common place and it's more exciting. And it creates uncommon experiences that are lived by few. Mm. In other words, there's few people that will actually break out of the herd and go and live from their higher self and create what they want to create and strengthen those wires above the Grand Canyon so that they can create those desired results. Now, there's an important note to remember, and I love this. Success education, which is what we talk about here. This is about personal development. It's about success education. So success education is not a pursuit of perfection. Mm-hmm. It's the pursuit of passion and adventure, long-term success and happiness, while creating a greater good for the whole. Mm-hmm. I love that quote. So let me read that again. Success education is not the pursuit of perfection. It is the pursuit of passion and adventure, long-term success and happiness, while creating a greater good for the whole. And that's what we talk about each and every week. It's about success education. It's about personal development. How can we educate ourselves to be better, do better, create better results, and show up as a better person in our lives? And that's what it's about.
Yep.
Right? So if you're looking for ways to create better results in your life, then implement success education. Implement personal development. Learn from people that are creating success and learn what it is that they do and go do it. And ultimately, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people won't do it. A lot of people won't do it. They'll get stuck in the herd. They'll complain. They'll whinge and complain about where their life's at, but they won't go and actually create the success that they desire because it's too hard.
Too many excuses and reasons why they can't.
That's right. So use the lifelines that we've spoken about over the last 3 weeks to really enhance your life, to create the success that you want in your life, to really educate yourself and show up as the best person that you can be.
Yeah.
So that's it from us on that Lifelines topic. And, of course, that brings us to the end of the Lifelines. Mm-hmm. And next week we'll have a new segment and a new topic, which does follow on from the Lifelines, but not focusing on those as such.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed going through those. There's some really good reminders.
Yeah, it's been good.
being some good reminders in areas of our life that we can improve and work on. So that's a great thing. Richard Wiseman said, great positive lifelines to remind us how to react and grow with the daily challenges of life. Thanks for the uplifting stream. Thanks, Richard. Rob Collins says, thanks, Simon and Lee. Great work. Love you guys. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, bro.
And
well, happy Mother's Day to everyone for this Sunday.
Yes, for this Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to you for this Sunday and all the mothers that are out there.
Yeah, very exciting.
Be a mother of a day.
So enjoy. Alrighty, so that's pretty much it for today.
It is, and we're up to episode 110. At this stage, we'll be back next week for episode 111.
Ooh, that's cool.
That's a powerful number. Very episode cool. 111 next week. So we'll be on next week, same time, same place, and we'll have another great topic to discuss in our personal development and success education. That's what it's about, right? So thank you to everyone that's joining us. Thanks, Agatha. Have safe travels.
FOMO, Agatha.
Safe travels to Agatha, who's flying off to Portugal. Have a great time. We know you will.
You're awesome.
And to everyone that joined us, a big thank you for joining us this evening. And we'll look forward to seeing you same time next week, unless advised otherwise. We'll be back next week, 7:30 on Loving Life Now for a brand new topic.
Sounds good.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye.